good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. It's time for some railfanning today. It's a nice Saturday, a lovely, sunny, humid day here. It's actually something like 31 degrees Celsius here today, so yeah, I'm not really enjoying it. But inside in the air conditioning I am, and I'm watching some trains going by on a digital screen, and you can join me in doing that. So I've looked up the train schedule used for these scenarios. It turns out that the timetable was the May 2012 timetable, which includes employee stock moves on it. So you'll see some interesting train numbers. For example, the first scenario, is it the first one? The first scenario has a train that I believe is number 4259. That is basically a stock move, and it moves from the Hicksville area to West Side Yard. That's the actual route for. So it moves from depot, like a siding track at Hicksville into West Side Yard. Doesn't make any stops along the way, so it's a depot move basically. Gets the train over to West Side Yard, possibly a little maintenance over there before it goes into service later. Some work over there. Then 4709, for example, Huntington to Penn. There's another one for 4855, which is Jamaica and Hunters Point. And you'll see some moves like that throughout these scenarios. So we got 3 scenarios queued up here today. These are all written by Danny Leach, who has been working for Dovetail Games about 4 or 5 times longer than I've been actually playing this game. So he has a lot of content there that I have his that I need to eventually find and go through as well. Official content, that is. And some things that he's done on his own as well, which I'm going to probably look at some point as well. But for right now, we got the Railfan scenarios. This will finish our official set of scenarios that comes with the Long Island Railroad. As you can see, I've gone ahead and gotten these fixed to have stars on them now. So the simple way to do it was I cloned these 2 scenarios. I put them over those 2. And I got my stars. So done. We know that these scenarios will score the points because they did it up here. They gave me my 1,000 points up here on both of them. So we know these scenarios are going to score unless there's a weird problem. So we're going to go ahead and get these completed. We're going to get all the stars on here. And I'm not going to come back to many in between the scenarios, but I'll come and show you the scenario listing again at the end, just to confirm that everything is done. And we're going to go ahead and just sit back and watch some trains. Let's enjoy watching some trains here. I have all the details for all the for all the trains. I will give you those details as we go. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, actually we're not going to get busy at all, we're just going to go ahead and watch everything go by. Let's get ourselves a nice cool drink and let's just watch everything go. So quick explanation of the tracks here. Normally I would pause to do this, but I found out that there's actually a core bug. If you pause the game and let some time elapse while you're paused, it actually counts the time against the time of the scenario. So you have to unpause the game quickly if you're going to pause, and you still lose time. You're going to have trains that don't go by. So here's the first train coming along the area where Floral Park branches off right now. We're going to go back to the station and watch him come by. But I want to use this as my basis. You can see the track going off to the right here. So just to explain the tracks on top are tracks number 1 and 2, and on the bottom here are tracks number 1 Floral Park and 2 Floral Park, going from top to bottom. So coming back into the station, we're now on a stairway, which I did not want to do. Here comes the first train coming by. This is a train that is going from Penn to Ronkonkoma. It's running late because it should have been at Queens Village at 6:48. We're not far from Queens Village. We're a couple stations down. And you can see it's 16:56 here. So, yeah, that train's running a bit late today. All I'm going to say about that. So let's get to the other side of our Drink the Big Apple sign. And we're going to see another train coming in over here in a moment. This is going to be coming by on track number 2 on the Floral Park side, which is why I came over to this section. We're only going to see 3 trains over here in this scenario. We're not going to see anything else. So the first train that's going to come by on this side is going to be a 6:15 p.m. Atlantic Terminal to Hempstead service, an 8-car service that's running about 12 minutes late. Here it is right here. It will make a stop here. While it comes by, we're going to see another train coming by over on that side. That is the Farmingdale to Penn, 6:25 p.m. Farmingdale to Penn service. It is a passenger service. I believe service number 2351, also running about 5 minutes late. That particular service, the reason I assume you hear the other train making a stop now. So the reason I presume it's service 2351 is because the service used for the times I'm finding is a May 2012 timetable that I don't know if it's publicly available or if it was actually made available to select certain people for this route, but because I was doing the showcase of these scenarios, and I showed interest in making scenarios, someone gave me a copy of that timetable so I could have all the stock movements, which is really nice. I'm not going to say who did that, but thank you for that. In any case, I have that, so it's available for me to use now. And if anyone wants information on any of the stock movements, if you want to make your own scenarios, you want to know what kind of stock movements take place at a certain time, ask me. I can try and poke in there and try and get some information for you. So I'll look that up if I need to. So the next service coming by, the reason I'm staying over on this track is because the next service is actually coming by on the other track, which is, I forgot about that one. That is the Long Island to Huntington service. That is a 6:14 p.m. service, number 668. Now, it's actually supposed to go to it's supposed to be a diesel train, because I think that service actually goes beyond Huntington. I might have forgotten, but that train might go beyond Huntington. The next train coming in here is train number 765. That is a Hempstead to Atlantic Terminal. This one is 25 minutes late. And by the way, some of these trains, the ones that are really, really late, they actually show you that they're late. See the word late at the end of the train information there for train number 765. So it shows you it's late. I'm standing right next to the door, so we're going to watch it open. And hello. So quick peek at the inside of the train. Okay. We can board and we'll sit right here. Okay. Ooh, nice window view. Nice window. You know what? I'm not going to be able to ride along, so I'm just going to get out. There we go. I went through a wall, I think. In any case, enough poking around the train. I think that's a train coming in the other direction here, isn't it? Oops, that's a bad zoom on my part. Nope. It's a headlight from this direction. No, it isn't. Anyway, he's about to leave. The next 4 trains are going to be coming by on the tracks to the north here, so we're going to go ahead and, well, stay on the tracks to the north. So I'm just trying to remember which way I need to look here. Need to remember which way to look here. It's going to be it's an odd service coming, so it's going to be coming on track number 1 to the north of us. So the further track on the other platform, platform A, we're on platform B. It shows us track 1 and 2. They don't show platform B. And if you go to the other track, by the way, it shows as track A, which is not a correct designation. It's actually platform A that it should be listed as. So platform A, and same with platform C over on the other track. They should be. This is the case with platforms on the Long Island Railroad. All platforms are lettered. All tracks are numbered. Remember that when telling your story, you'll tell a proper story. So there's train 4259. I would pause and show you the no passengers view. You can pause on YouTube and see that it says no passengers on it. And you can also pause and see the passengers that are inside. So I'm going to poke the guy who made the train and suggest that we try to get a no passenger variant that could be inserted in as a stock movement. That would be a nice thing to see. But other than that, yeah, not really a huge complaint about the train otherwise. Good train. I enjoy driving that train. So I'm going to stay poking in this direction for a moment. I'm going to actually back up a little bit. I said back up a little bit. Back up, back. Thank you. So I guess this will do. So we're going to see another train coming by in just a moment here. This is going to be train number 1. It's listed as train number 1836. I might actually show you on the label as it comes up. So it's listed as 1836, but it should be train number 1736. This service actually starts at West Side Yard at about 6:16 p.m. And it makes it stop at New York Penn to start its service. It leaves at 6:31 to begin driving in our direction. So as you can see, it's labeled incorrectly as it is 1736. Never mind. I said that it was the wrong number. I typed it incorrectly in my notes. That happens. It is actually 1736. I've now verified that. So the service is absolutely correct, and I will say nothing further about that. Next train, please. Next train will be, and again, I don't have a service number, but from the timetable and the time that the service, the time of the service and the endpoints, I was able to discern that this is likely service 4709 coming along. So 4709 is a Huntington to Penn service, empty stock, going by on track number 1. Here it is right now. And you'll see that the train number, again, is missing, like I said. So I was just able to discern. The 10, by the way, is just an ID number of the train in this scenario. Every train has an ID from 1 to 10. And sometimes it's even 0 in some scenarios. Like next one has a 00 in it. So, yeah, that's the 8th train going by. We have 2 more trains coming. This next one is actually an error train. And I'm going to be very blunt when I say it's an error train. This train is listed as a New York Penn to Hicksville service. However, this is actually service number 166 according to the numbering. And number 166 goes via Valley Stream. Looking in the timetable, 166 does operate in the same area as these trains, and I can't find a different service that goes to Hicksville. Or I might have just missed it. I'll have to take another look to confirm if there is. But since 166 operates at this time that we are working here, this train should not be coming by this station. So the train you're about to see, you might as well consider it a ghost train. We can consider a storyline where maybe the Valley Stream track was closed, so there was limited movement available, like one of the tracks might have been closed, or limiting movement to actual services that make stops. And sometimes these Babylon services do drive along this route if they're not making any stops in the Valley Stream area. However, since they typically go via Valley Stream, you normally would not see this train here. So this train must have gotten moved up here today, and that's why we're seeing it today. Now we're going to head back to the other tracks for one more train coming by. This will be the last train. It'll be coming by over here on track number 1. I'm going to poke to the left a little bit to get off the track. There we go. And coming by on track number 1 will be a 6-car empty stock movement from Hempstead to West Side Yard. I'm actually going to pop out and meet the service because it'll be the last train we have, and then that's going to be it. So I'm going to head over to this side. We're going to get a nice view from on the track. We're going to live dangerously, guys. Here we go. And that's the last train. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out in the sky and get a nice look at Floral Park Station. That last train, just to clarify again, was likely service number 3753. Again, it is not listed in this scenario. This service is running roughly on time, starting at 6:48 p.m. and it is on its way to West Side Yard. So it is an empty service, following the same path as the stopping service we saw earlier. Because it's an empty service, that's why it did not stop. And that's the end of this scenario. So we're going to go ahead and move to the next scenario in just a moment here. So we're in a bit of a weird starting spot here. We're inside something. Okay, that just suddenly stopped moving all of a sudden. But let's go ahead and pop out. We are at Forest Hills. So we're a little bit further up the line now. I'm going to again go over the track layout for you because there are 4 tracks here. We're going to have tracks number 1 and 2 in the middle. Tracks number 3 and 4 are on the outside. Those outside tracks are the stopping tracks at Forest Hills. Kew Gardens is down, I believe, in this direction over here. I'm going to confirm that when the first train comes by and I'm able to see what that train is. The first train coming by will be number 1712 New York to Huntington. It'll be coming by on track number 4, which is right under us. So there it is. And the next train is coming by from the other direction right now, Jamaica to West Side Yard, an empty stock movement. So that's 1712 going away from us. It's on time. And number 4355 is apparently a few minutes late because it should be at Harold at 310. And as you can see, it's already 310. So it should already be at Harold interlocking. So it looks like the timetable going in this direction is a few minutes late, probably for scenario purposes. So we now know that in this direction is Kew Gardens. If we keep going in that direction, we're going to find Kew Gardens. So that is a certainty at this point. Woodside is in this direction. This tells me that track 1 and 2 are the top and bottom ones in the middle. That is track 3. This is track 4, right here. So that's how the track layout is set up when I'm talking about the tracks. The mainline tracks are in the middle. I'm going to pop over to the... I shouldn't really be stopping at the sign here. Well, let's just go back to the middle. Let's go to the other track, actually. I want to go to the other track. I don't actually hang out on this track enough, I don't think. This is actually... No, never mind. This is the track that I got that shot from in scenario number 7. So we're going to head back to this track after all. We're going to head down here after all. Let's see the next train coming by. So you can see the train coming along right now is 4357, another empty stock movement. They actually happen one right after the other of this pair. And this is Jamaica to New York Penn. So it's actually going to be stopping at New York Penn, also a few minutes late. It should be at Harold Airlocking, well, now. 3:12, it should be at Harold Airlocking. So yeah, the timetable's running a little bit behind here today for the westbound trains, it looks like. The next train has a very odd error on it. I'm going to show you the label as it comes up to indicate what the error is. It is a spelling error, as you can probably imagine when you say an odd error. But we're going to be seeing that train coming by on track number 1. So it's going to be taking the inner track here when it comes by. And since I know it's coming in this direction, I'm just going to go ahead and head over here to meet it. So here it comes right now. I'll bring up the label, and you can see when I bring up the label that it says Babylon to New York Penn. Babylon to New York Penn. Now 115 is a valid and correct service number, but I believe that's supposed to say Babylon. So yeah, 115 is a Babylon service, not a Babylon service. Let's just get that straight right now. The train coming right now is train number 858, New York Penn to Long Beach. There we go. So that's now 5 out of the 11 trains we're going to see in this scenario. The next train is going to be one of those unique ones. We're getting to the time of day where trains start moving into and out of the Hunters Point Avenue area in Long Island City. We actually had one of those in the last scenario, and I actually didn't point it out. The Long Island to Huntington service was actually from Long Island City. So that particular service was train number 668, which is one of the rare services out of Long Island City. There's not a lot of them. So that's what we had in the last scenario. In this case, we're going to have a train going from Jamaica to Hunters Point as the actual service. It is a stock movement 4855. This is also a special service in that it only runs on Fridays, and sometimes I think it runs on Thursdays as well, but it's typically a Friday stock movement. So you're going to see this one going by mostly on Fridays to get trains stored at Hunters Point, probably for the next week. So here's that stock movement right now. This is the occasional train. So this is apparently taking place on a Friday, possibly on a Thursday. And on the 2012 timetable, there's actually a single Wednesday where this service also ran. A single Wednesday for some reason. It may be that the Thursday timings on that train may be related to the Holiday Eve schedule. There might be an extra train out of the area on Holiday Eves. So that's my guess as to why that service typically runs on Fridays, to replenish that stock movement, to get a stock movement back into Long Island area or Hunters Point area. So I think that's why that train moves on certain Thursdays, but it always moves on Fridays. Now the next train coming by is going to be another service in this direction, so I'm going to go ahead and position myself on top of a building because I can. This building looks very nice. So we're going to position ourselves right here on this building. We're going to just stand here like, gawkers and watch another empty stock movement go by. This is train number, train number, not labeled, but I presume it's number 5553, again based on the schedule. 3 o'clock, Hillside to New York Penn. This starts at the Hillside facility that is to the east of Jamaica, and it continues towards Penn, so it starts a service there at Penn, getting a stock movement into position here. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves now over the track, because I want to see the next train coming from the other direction here. This next train is going to be a holiday evening train. So this is apparently going to be something like, this might be the day before Labor Day, or the weekday before, the Friday before. It could be before Independence Day too, actually, but I don't know if it was a Friday in that year or not. It could also be the Friday before Victoria Day in May. So basically, a holiday evening is like the last business day before a major holiday period, where the trains then run on a holiday schedule. That's what a holiday eve is typically listed as. There are a few of them on the timetable. So this particular train is therefore an occasional train. It does not run every day. It only runs on holiday evenings. There is no compatible train, but train number 132 runs very close to it and is also going to be in this scenario. So we're going to be seeing this one coming by on track number 2, which means I want to position myself right here to watch it go by. at this point, I'm going to now position myself back on the platform because the next, the next couple trains are going to be passenger services. And I want to see the passenger services come in to make stops. 132 is one of those passenger services that is going to make a stop here. So I'm going to head to this end of the platform to watch this train come in because it will be the first one coming. So here it comes right now. This is 132 like I just talked about. On the other side of the track, as this one comes to a stop to make a pickup, we're going to be seeing 1705, a Huntington to New York Penn, emerging on the other side. Or I'm going to have to go in the sky to see it because this train is too long. Yeah, this train is too long. Let's make our way around this. Hello. You can see it in the window. Haha, look at that. You can see it on the other side. That's the other train making a stop. So we're going to get out. We're going to hop in the sky. We can see both trains here. This is the kind of shot I would be taking in a regular scenario, ladies and gentlemen, to show you the two different trains at the station from a nice aerial view if I was driving one of them. You notice, by the way, that these trains do not have... Well, actually, they do have headlights on, which is nice. I like seeing that they have the headlights on. They should, because that shows that train is operational. So we're going to follow the 1705. As we do, we're going to be seeing one more train coming in on this side. Number 2094 will eventually show up, a Penn to Ronkonkoma service. It's one of the last... Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's one of the last. It's one of the higher numbered Ronkonkoma services. I think this one was added after the timetable to 2092. 2092 is the last run of the day. But there were a few added for 2094, 2098. There might be a 2096 in there. So 3 extra services were added periodically throughout the day. This is one of those extra services, 2094. As you see going by on track 2, this is a 12-car service, and it is the last train that's going to run through in this scenario. So we're not going to see any additional trains in this scenario. That's the end of this one. All right, this is a busy one from the very start. We're going to see 2 trains already when we come through. The first 2 trains in the station are 3706 heading towards Hicksville, an empty service, which I believe is the one over there. And then over here we're seeing a Ronkonkoma to Atlantic Terminal. So this should be track number 3 that we're on right now if I have the right track in mind. Let's find out if I am indeed on the right track. Heading over here, we can see that I am indeed on track 3. So this is track 3, therefore this is platform B. And we're looking at C, D, and E going in that order. Platforms A, we're on B, then C, D, and E in that direction. So we're currently hanging out on platform B. The next train coming by will be on track 8, which means we want to get over to platform D at this point, I would say. Or is it E? No, I want E. That's track 8. So we're going to hop over here and wait for this train coming from Hunters Point Avenue. Or not Hunters Point, sorry. From New York to Ronkonkoma. So Penn to Ronkonkoma is the train that's going to be coming by here. Was there a Hunters Point on my schedule? Maybe not. No, I just thought there was for a second. I'm thinking about the last scenario of the train that was going to Hunters Point. That's what I'm thinking of. Or am I? We'll find out in a second. So I don't believe any other trains are coming by yet. There's actually one train. I don't know what happened to it on my previous attempt to play the scenario, but train number 9 over here, I never saw what happened to it. So I'm trying to keep an eye on it because it's going very, very slowly right now. And I'm a little puzzled as to what's going to happen. Notice it's kind of waiting on a junction right now. The junction seems to be, I guess it's set for it. I don't know. But in any case, we're seeing the train to Ronkonkoma coming through here. There it comes. Now I'm going to do a very, very quick pause here. It says Hunters Point Avenue. It should not be going to Hunters Point Avenue. It's going in the wrong direction for Hunters Point Avenue. That is a mistake, to say the very least. But this is a service for Ronkonkoma, train number 2008. The other train numbers, by the way, were 3706 and 2019 at the start of the scenario. This train coming into the north of us right now is train number 2812 heading to Far Rockaway. Also making stops, you can see the doors opening. So we have 2 trains. Yeah, this is the one we just saw. So we have 2 trains that are in right now. I know train number 10 or train number 35 to New York Penn from Babylon is going to be coming in on track number 3. So I'm going to pop out to that side right now. As I do, I'm going to explore what this train number 9 is doing, because I'm a little puzzled as to what happens to train number 9. My practice run, it just somehow vanished. That's track number 2 and 3 to my right, by the way. So train number 9 is somewhere over here. This is it. This is train number 9. Ronkonkoma, New York, Penn. I don't know what it's doing. I honestly do not know what it's doing. But we're going to see the other train, number 10, coming by right now. Number 10 is the Babylon to New York, Penn service. And because I don't know what happened to that train on the previous run, I'm keeping a close eye on it this time. So we're going to see number 10 going by right now to New York, Penn. Number 9, by the way, you saw is a Ronkonkoma to New York, Penn. That is train number 2021. So provided it actually moves into action, we're going to see what it does. Trains obviously have to go 15 through Jamaica, so the trains are going very, very slowly here. We're going to see a Long Beach, New York, Penn service coming through in this direction soon as well, which is right there. That's it right there, I believe. I'm going to try on the label to confirm, but there it is, number 11, coming from Long Beach. So it's coming from the entrance to the south. It terminates for us, but it continues for them because they portal out. Number 9 is still hanging around. I assume it's going to move after this train is off the path. I think it's just waiting for a junction to clear, and after a junction clears, it'll be safe to go. So, should be going now. These 2 trains are leaving right now. I'll show you what they are because we weren't at the station. They're 2 and 3. We already saw those trains at the station. So, I'm going to pop back a little bit towards the station. We still want to keep an eye on this train, though, because I am mystified as to what happens to them. So here we are looking at train number 9. This is the train that is immediately in front of us on the screen here. If I hit that, you can see it. You saw the other trains going off. Number 3 going off towards Far Rockaway. Number 2 heading off in the direction that it normally goes in. That, again, was train number 2008. You remember that from the scenario one we just did. Train number 9 just disappeared. Train number 9 just vanished from my screen. I don't know why, I don't know how, but train number 9 ceases to exist. This is a train to Penn Station, which I believe we might have already seen. Yeah, that was train number 10. Train number 10, train number 11 coming in. You saw a depot move, by the way, over there. We're going to get to that later. There we go. Nice little view of both trains. So I am expecting another service to come through here, which is why I'm kind of hanging around here. There's supposed to be a 502 coming by. It's listed as Jamaica to East Williston. This is an error. The train, first of all, should be a diesel train, so it would not be run by an M7. I know it's just being used as a stand-in, but the service goes all the way to Oyster Bay. It doesn't stop at East Williston. It goes all the way to Oyster Bay. So that is another error, and that train's going to be coming along here right now, actually. That's train number 502 right there. So that's our stand-in 502 service to East Williston. I did see one more train coming in. Here it is right there. This train should be coming by on track number 6, which I think is where we are right now. Is that where we are? Track number 5. So track number 6 is the other one. So it's coming by on that track. So this particular service is going to be the try that again. Atlantic Terminal to Hempstead. By the way, that is a spelling mistake. Hempstead. Well, that's Long Beach. Sorry, that's the Long Beach one. I got the wrong one in mind. The Hempstead one is later. So this is train number 3804, New York, Penn to Long Beach. It's an empty train, so it's not going to be making a stop here. There is no stop. Train number 13, which we saw on the map a moment ago, Huntington to Atlantic Terminal, should be coming by on track 4, which is right to our north. So when we look over here, behind these headset guys, that train's going to be showing up over here anytime now. So we're going to walk up the stairs to get a nice look up the stairs. As I go through the stairs, you can see from our lovely, there we go. Hey! Okay, there we go. So we're going to go over here to this spot for our lovely little perch to... Wrong platform. There's where I want to go, right here. We're going to watch them come in right here. That's the train coming in from the east, I should say. That is the Huntington to Atlantic Terminal service. It is running late It should be making a stop, but it doesn't for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't make a stop. But it doesn't make a stop. So there it is. This is where it would normally make a stop, and it doesn't. Coming in from the west at this point is the service to Hempstead, which hopefully that's not the one. No, that's just the East Williston one. But there is one coming in from Hempstead. You can see it coming far in the distance here. That's why the label is so small. I'm going to keep the labels up for a moment to show you. The depot move is going to be moving in a moment as well. So I'm moving in this direction to get you a good look at the depot move. There's train number 13, which is the one that's over on that side. I'm coming over to track numbers 7 and 8 so I can get over to the depot and take a look over at the depot, because we're going to see this train move in just a second over here. See depot move there? You can see another train coming in over there. That is train number 5, which is the one listed as Hempstead. With a spelling mistake, there's no P on Hempstead. But that depot move train is going to be moving as the other train comes in. So we're going to take a look at that for a moment here. He's actually going to take off at about 10 miles per hour, which is the speed for that track. And there's the train for Hempstead coming in. So that train coming to Hempstead right now is train number 710. It is the 7:51 a.m. It is labeled, and you can see the depot move starting too. It's labeled as 7:10 a.m. 7:51 Atlantic Terminal to Hempstead. So there's a lot of errors with that train name that need to be corrected. That's all I'm going to say about that. It is coming in on track number 7, as you can see. We're hanging out on tracks 9 and 10 right now, watching the depot move. We're going to see another train making a stop coming from the other direction. It's going to be stopping, actually it's going to be coming from this direction on track 8. So it should be coming from over here at some point. It's listed as 00, but it's actually service number 22, New York to Babylon, Penn Station to Babylon service. So it stops at Jamaica at 8:10. Let's look at the time right now. Getting there. We're 2 minutes away from seeing this service coming in. So that's going to be what's coming in 2 minutes. You can see in the distance right now, actually. That's the service right there. He's going to be making a stop in here. He might actually be a little early. He might be a wee bit early. So he's going to be junctioning down the tracks in the direction towards the lower right. The second one is where he's going to junction down to, from the right and from the left, where the tracks merge. And he's going to stay on the track to the right, or his left, so he can make his stop at the platform. The depot move is also moving. Now let's head back in the other direction, because I have not actually seen these other trains move. When I did my trial run, I somehow ended up not getting to see these other trains move. So I think there's a core bug in the game that causes some errors with when you pause the game. You don't actually get to see the entire scenario, because the time the game is paused counts towards the time that the game calculates. I went a little too far. This is the depot move right here. So that's the depot move coming up. I don't know exactly where he goes, but I'm kind of hanging out here to watch him to see what he does. So we're going to just go ahead and park ourselves right here. And we're going to see how much more time the scenario gives us to watch trains. The rest of the trains all have errors with them. I'm going to mention them as they come by if we see them. The next train we should be seeing, if it gets into the map, is 2737, Babylon to New York Penn. The error here is that the train actually, while it does come through Babylon, the train originates at a place called Spionk. So as you go past Babylon, the next major station is Patchogue, which has numbers I think from 2760 to 2799 or something like that. And then the next level above that is Spionk, which I think is 2730 to 2759. And then you have Montauk itself, which is 2700 to 2729. That's the end of the line. The train that you see on the left, by the way, is obviously not the depot move. That's to the right. That's train number 6 leaving to Hempstead. We actually are not going to get to the remaining trains. So I'm going to actually have to pop out and move down the track a little bit to see if we can get any view of the remaining trains. And we're going to have a scenery cut off here, I bet. Yeah, we're going to have a scenery cut off. So I'm going to fix that by doing this right now. We can't get enough time in this scenario to see these remaining trains, unfortunately. So I'm going to move ahead. I've gone as far as I can right now. So there's a train in there somewhere. somewhere in there, there is a train right there. You can see it in the distance there. That is a train that I believe is train number 12. That would be the Spionk to New York Penn. So more time needs to be added for this railfan scenario. There needs to be additional time. But there are 2 more air trains beyond this, which include a 7:23 a.m. Huntington to New York Penn, number 1627. The train originates in Cold Spring Harbor, which is not a destination of any train. It's just the origin point of this particular train, 1627. So that would need to be corrected when the scenario is extended. And then there's a train that shouldn't even be on the map. A 9:05 West Hempstead to New York Penn. That should be just completely deleted, because that is a train that originates south of Jamaica, and it comes on it comes either from St. Albans or from the other exit, the Atlantic branch. So it comes from one of those 2 paths. It does not come from the east. That one is an error. In any case, we're done the scenario, so let's get back to the menu. So the standard scenarios are kind of weird in this because it tells you you have stopped at 0 out of 1 destinations, therefore you could not have completed the scenario successfully. Well then, thank you. You still get the check mark, so it's just fine. But in any case, that's the end of the Railfan scenarios. I'll pop back to the menu for a second to get back to the career tab. So there we go. Every single scenario has been checkmarked with a star now. Everything has 1,000 points on it. If I go down the labels, this is what you call a perfect score on the route right here. All 9 scenarios, all 9,000 points. Now again, the points don't matter. I just like having the stars on there because, you know, vanity and things like that. So, yeah, that's basically the end of the actual route progress here. Or is it? There are 4 scenarios as I speak right now in the workshop as I'm recording this, and I actually know of one of them because it is a scenario that I got to take a look at with the person who created the route. He says this scenario actually led him to fix a lot of signal problems with the route that he didn't know were going to be problems. And as a result, he thought this was such a good scenario. It gave him a challenge of making the signals work the way they were supposed to do. This is why the signals work so well in this route. There may still be other errors, so if you find other things that don't work, he wants to know. Let him know. And Brandon will be happy to fix those. Cactus Juice will be happy to fix those problems if a build can be put out with those fixes in it. But other than that, yeah, basically, I'm down to workshop scenarios and my own creations at this point, and whatever else you guys might come up with. If you have a scenario on this route and you want me to play it, bring it to me and I'll see if I can throw it on here and make a play out of it, because I want to play you some of your content as well, especially now that I'm done all the content for this route. But I am going to see if I can grab that scenario from Cactus Juice, and I'm going to make that my next scenario. I was thinking of pushing that for Sunday, tomorrow, but then I'll have to come up with something else to publish on Tuesday anyway, and I'm going to be rushing to get a couple videos up for that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave the workshop scenario for Tuesday. I might do a second one for Wednesday if I see one I want to try. But I definitely want to show you Cactus Juice's challenge scenario on Tuesday, the one that I think goes to New York Penn Station 11, or track 11 when it goes in. So it actually takes the southern tunnel, not the northern tunnel. So a little bit of a difference with how the entry to Penn works in that scenario. And I really like the change in that. So we're going to go ahead and see that one. And we're going to see how that one works next time. And that will be, I believe, on Tuesday we're going to do it at this point. So make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and see more Railfans and other cases of me driving trains, well, either properly or badly as the case may be. And I'll see you next time for that scenario heading to the south tunnel into the southern part of New York Penn, where we might see some floating objects and things like that, because that side of the route is not completely done. And hopefully the northern section towards the Long Island Railroad territory is actually still fairly well done. I did see a remark from someone around Platform 4. There was some floating stuff on Platform 4. So maybe it'll be fixed over time. Who knows? We'll see. But in any case, that scenario next time, it's going to be a fun little challenge for me, and it's going to be a little different. Actually, it's going to be a lot like the scenario where we had to follow another train, and we had I think it was the empty stock movement. It's going to be a lot like that one. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. But I'll see you next time for that. We'll talk about more at that time. I'm Cyclone. See you next time. That next video, by the way, if the few days have passed since I posted this, it'll be after on the playlist. You'll be able to see that video in 3, 2, 1.